everyone to this summer edition of the customer experience release of SAP. My name is Jeff Oddebeek and I'm joined by Frederik. Hi.
Hi, good morning. Very happy to join you today.
I will be guiding you through all the marketing new features, whereas Frederik will guide you to everything related to sales and service. With that being said, let's dive into SAP Emarsys. As always, you know the drill. I've selected a few items of the previous release of Emarsys, as this video will be recorded before the August release. So I selected two main topics, omnichannel enhancements and reporting. With regards to omnichannels, WhatsApp in conversational channel has been now made generally available. And then I have selected three more that I'll dive into in a minute. And then we have the reporting capabilities that are expanded with two additional features. So first, omnichannel enhancement. We have the brand center, especially relevant for all the content creators, the marketeers in this world. What they can now do is, if they have several brands within their company, they can select their color codings, they can select their fonts, they can select basically their entire look and feel, save it as a theme, and next time they create a new email, they just select the theme and everything is adjusted accordingly. Second omnichannel enhancement is with regards to digital advertisement. Previously, as you can see on the screenshot, already available Facebook, Google's, TikTok, but now an additional channel has been added, Microsoft Advertisements. So if you would like to add your digital advertisements to channels such as Bing and Yahoo, this is now possible via Emarsys. And then the last omnichannel enhancement is with regards to the account engagement model of SAP, combining data from your CRM, Sales Cloud system, and Emarsys. Now you can use account attributes in your segmentation. So if you would like to segment on all ABC classified accounts, you can now use that attribute in your segmentation and target all A accounts, for example. That brings me to the reporting capabilities. Two features I wanted to highlight. First is the AI-assisted report building. So it's an AI agent that you can just write a prompt to. For instance, give me all of the campaigns happened in Q4 of 2024 and compare the results. And the system will generate a report for you to analyze. If that's not sufficient, you could also integrate with third parties. Many third parties available. The main focus will be on Analytics Cloud, but if you don't have Analytics Cloud, you could also embed reports from Qlik, Tableau, of Power BI into your Emarsys system and use them for further reporting. That wraps it up for Emarsys, so I'll give the word now to Frederik.
All right, thank you, Jeff. All right, I will be covering the latest enhancements on the SAP Sales and Service Cloud side. So as you know, both solutions are running on the same platform. So let's have a look at some of the enhancements made on the platform. First of all, interesting to know that if SAP releases new features, you will now have the option to opt in for those features instead of having them activated by default. Very interesting. A huge time saver is the option to copy business roles. That will minimize effort, especially in a rollout scenario where you can now, for example, create one master role and then copy that role over to the different countries. Some enhancements on the AI side. Three things I wanted to highlight. First of all, the business information extraction. So the AI will have access to the content of, for example, incoming emails and will extract any useful business information. A good example could be product IDs that are mentioned by the customer in the email. The AI will pick up on that and, for example, automatically add products to your case. Secondly, there is a sales order summary, which gives you an overview of what's going on with a sales order, if any discounts have been acknowledged, or if, for example, if products have been replaced due to stock issues, for example. So also there, a huge time saver, giving an immediate view on the sales order. And then the email drafter, which was already available previously, has now also been made available for quotations and orders, helping you send out quotations to your customers. Now let's look specifically at Sales Cloud because there is a large new feature being released. It's called Account Planning, and it will help you to strategically develop your accounts, especially useful in B2B scenarios where you have large accounts with, for example, long sales cycle, and you want to strategically plan how you will approach and develop such accounts. So all of the elements involved in account planning can be documented in Sales Cloud. First of all, define some of the customer goals that you picked up on, for example, while discussing those with your customers. Secondly, you can complement those with real figures and include any of the business figures that you have on those customers, being it the margin or the profit or the revenue that the customer generated over the years. Also very interesting in C-level discussions that you might have with your account. You also obviously want to have all the different stakeholders on the customer nicely mapped in your solution, knowing who are the decision makers, for example. But you could also include, for example, competitors and the threat level they pose. If you know that some competitor is attacking one of your accounts, you can also document that in the solution, and that will help you plan how to approach your account. If you did any SWOT analysis, you can also document that in the solution. And obviously, the complete sales plan can also be documented and can even be segmented by product or product group to make it even more focused. Obviously, you want to not just plan, but also take action. So all the actions that you defined, for example, as a sales manager with your account team, you can also document those actions and follow up on those actions to make sure that the objectives that you've set together are reached. So very interesting new feature. Feel free to reach out to us if you want to have more information on this one. And then very briefly on the SAP Service Cloud, some of the enhancements, a small but interesting one is that you can include a placeholder and, for example, have the product ID automatically or the case ID automatically included in the email subject that you send out to your customers. Secondly, you can mark certain attachments as being private, which prevents you or any of your colleagues from sending out or exposing those attachments to your customers, all right? If they are purely for internal use, you just mark them as being private. And then the last interesting feature is that the case categorization, which already existed previously, but only works in the Sales Cloud application, you can now also use it directly in Outlook, meaning you can directly in Outlook assign case categories to the case, and you no longer need to switch over to the Service Cloud application to do so. So again, huge time saver and much more efficient. And that concludes the SAP Sales and Service Cloud part of things.
Thank you, Fredrik. So this was it for the summer release. Enjoy the sun, enjoy the festival, enjoy all the plans you have, and we will be back in November with the next release. Bye.